Hello, guys, and welcome to the it's grand final betting tips. We're here with Jono for this one. How are you, Jono?
Final show of the year.
Yes, Footy, let's go, Lions. Oh, guys, you can see. So I'm down here. I'm staying at my sister's. I've been at my mum's last week. I'm up here in Melbourne, so I've gone to the parade, going to the footy. I'm pooped. I'm cooked, but I am enjoying my time. Absolutely loving it. So it's fantastic to be here. So we'll quickly go through the recap. We're not really here to digest too much of the prelims or the semi because who gives a shit? We're here for the big dance. But as we quickly go through it, this was the ones for the semi where Adelaide lost to Hawthorn. Carl Amon missed. You can see down there he missed. Very unlucky. He was 9 out of 10 at the time. But because that one missed by one leg, we get the bonus bet. Bang. The Brisbane Gold Coast game. Fantastic. Bailey Humphrey started off so slow, but hit in the end, which was great to see. And then moving on to the prelim. Bang, Geelong Hawthorn, fantastic. Great to start the week, but then the Brisbane Collingwood, Berry with the shoulder, Pendlebury
Injuries
played.
galore.
Oh, and
Yeah.
then Dunkley actually missed by one. So I used that bonus bet and put it.
Dunkley was spent a lot of time off with his ankle too. We really
Yeah.
got fucking hit by the injury then.
Oh, yeah, that one was rough, but fuck, that was a good game to be at. Um, Anyway, we've done the review. Oh, and we're almost like one bet off getting 5 grand this year. It's fucking
Let's
huge.
finish. Let's finish off with a big one.
Let's fit.
Finish off.
I swear to God, I've been doing the stats for this for ages, and I've been on the phone with Jono for ages trying to iron out this bet because it's the hardest bets to do are the ones with so many options. There's one game of the week. Trust me, a normal home and away round, bang, bang, bang. I can go through it. The do or die one at the very end of the year is so tough.
Is like in a normal home and away round, we're trying to average. We're trying to hit like 4 out of the 9 bets to make a big profit. Right. This week we've got one chance.
Yeah, exactly. One shot, one opportunity. All right, so we're not,
Let's get into it.
yeah, we don't really give a fuck about the review. We're here for this bad boy. So let me actually scroll to the top. So we're just
What? Oh, do you want to do what's expected? What we think sub wise.
all right. We're back. We just had a little idea where some of the players we're going to talk about. It's kind of important to know the team sheets. There's only one game. We probably have the time to go through this, and some players could be or sub risk. So let's go straight through it. We can see the ins and the outs. So for Geelong, Reece Stanley in for the concussed Tom Stewart, which is very unfortunate. And then on the Lions side, Jared Berry's out with the shoulder. Again, very unfortunate because that happened, I don't know, twice in a month or so. Lockie Neal with the Superman recovery. I can't believe all those hours in the hyperbaric chamber paid off, right? So I hope he
We'll
gets the
see.
full.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
well, yeah. So we'll get. Speaking of Jono, I think the sub for that game is going to be Sam Marshall. Sam Marshall played 7 games, and usually whoever is listed on the interchange before the game when there's five, one of those five will be the sub. So I think it's going to be Sam Marshall, and yeah, let me know who you think or who might get taken
Well,
off.
yeah. Well, now that so actually, there you're saying that Levi won't be the sub, judging by that statistic being him on the wing already. I think it will be Bruce still. I
Hmm.
think Bruce has really been good, and when he's been coming on as a sub, and I don't think they want to fuck with that kind of thing. So I reckon I don't think there's no chance that Lockie Neal's the starting sub because there's no
Yeah.
point making an injured player guy an impact player. Just let him work his way into the game slowly, kind of thing. I think that's what definitely Bruce for them. Who do you reckon's getting subbed out?
Well,
Brisbane.
so just with so I Bruce has been sub a lot of the time, and it's worked great because he's really good for like half a game. The only reason I thought he might get the full game is because Jared Berry being like our main winger, I felt like we would probably need a full winger, whereas Sam Marshall might take Lockie Neal if he goes down, and that's probably where we were maybe aligned on the same page. If you think Lockie Neal can't get a full game, unfortunately he's got to be the sub off.
My only thought there was maybe they're going to use Neil less than what they would like, and maybe they need an extra midfield cover.
Mm,
Like maybe Marshall's chipping in a fair bit more. Instead of doing, I feel like Neil's spending a bit more time. Maybe he hasn't spent a bit more time up forward with a bit more because he's not going to be fully fit. It's
yeah.
going to be the big thing.
Look, I'm really hoping for it, but look, if Neil, I mean, doesn't get sub, I feel like the next in line was Levi because Levi he got tack subbed after he kind of let Ollie Dempsey just
Yeah.
have his
I
have his
would have thought it would have
way.
been I would have thought it would have been Levi.
if there wasn't this injury cloud, oh well, I mean, he's playing,
Yeah.
right? He's expected. He's expected if he's named and he's like on.
He's
You're
starting.
expected.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's not. He's starting. He's going to play, right? So
yeah,
I would have thought. I thought Bruce looked the more composed player last weekend too, but it's an Ashcroft. Like,
mm.
just roll the dice. He's a good player. I think he starts. Pretty much you get him like Kai Lohman, Jasper, Big O. Definitely won't be there. So it's between Sam Marshall and Bruce. We know that.
Well, oh yeah, as in starting. I feel like
Starting sub.
I
Yeah.
feel like unfortunately, like either an Oscar or a Ty Gallop or an underperforming forward is also a likely candidate. Hawthorn do that all the time. But yeah, if Sam Marshall or Bruce Reville are, I think it might be more like for like. So anyway, that's the Lions play. And like, fuck, I'm just so hoping Lockie Neal's good to go play the whole game. I don't want him subbed off.
I think it will be Lockie Neal if it's everything goes to plan for Brisbane. I think it's Lockie Neal, purely better fitness, and then Big O. I would have thought the next time.
Yeah, and I want Big O to have the full, like, I want everyone to play the full game. I want everyone to be healthy, good to go. But I can just imagine if because you probably heard that.
Speed.
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably heard that Daniel Hoyne stat where Geelong are the best in the extended time. Like, so after the 20-minute mark, they are 400 points, which is like double the next best of any team. Geelong score the most after the 20-minute mark, which is huge. And their leg speed, their running, their endurance is phenomenal. So that's probably where a big player gets sacrificed. So that's all the speculation. And we've probably listed like 5-6 players. Those 5-6 players is a reason why we're not going to be betting on them, because I really like Levi. I really wanted to include Levi for 12, but we'll get there. But anyway, that's the Brisbane theory.
My dream is that Lockie Neal gets Norm Smith. That's the dream. But
oh yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but I think we can definitely narrow it down to Marshall and Reville to start.
Yeah.
Anyway, move on to the Kitty Cats.
Yep. So Jai Clark, I feel like that is as safe as houses.
That's the obvious. Yeah.
Yep.
Safe as houses. I did hear an interesting one, like Reese maybe starting as a sub, and like because like Geelong's been playing so well with Blitz, and then if it like in case of emergency you need Reese, I don't think that will happen, right? It's too risky.
So Geelong do late changes all the time, but again, I'm 95% certain. Well, it's 95% of the time, just because I look at so many team sheets, watch so much footy. It's usually one of those 5 players from the interchange, and so if it's Jai Clark, but your Reece Stanley theory, I think he could easily get subbed off if he's not doing much because Blitzavs have been phenomenal. They need him in the ruck. They also need him to look after Harris Andrews. Maybe Reece Stanley is underperforming the ruck. Blitzavs goes back. Who knows? Reece Stanley being the late in kind of means he's like the last out.
Yeah, and then Jack Martin's a spark player. He could kick 4 goals. He could kick 9 goals, right? So I could see Martin get subbed out, but I think he'll start. Mullen's definitely fucking starting and not getting subbed out, I don't think.
Yep.
I think we can narrow it down to Jai Clark, Bowes starting. Or I think we can say it's Clark's going to start sub, but I think it's Jack Bowes seems to be the obvious target, or Reece to get subbed out.
Yeah. And that name you just mentioned, Jack Bowes, as much as I really like Levi Ashcroft on the Brisbane side, Jack Bowes I really like on the Geelong side, but fuck, just when a player is in like the bottom 3 or 4 candidates of being subbed off, especially when you've got one more game of the year, I just don't want to bet on someone who could get subbed off. Trust me, if it was any other week, it's different.
The other last thing I'll say, just on the team sheets, Brisbane have named Sam Day, Tunstall, and Darragh Joyce. Sam Day looked awful, unfortunately for him, in the first finals. He's not coming in for a late change. Darragh Joyce hasn't played a game all year. He's a key defender. I don't think there's any risk of a key defender injury right now for Brisbane prior to the game. The only guy that we really can see getting subbed, not making it to the start of the game, is Lockie Neal, and Tunstall's a midfielder. So that's the only guy that could come in for Brisbane.
Tunstall's played like 3 times.
He did play the last game. Yeah, he's coming in as a sub. He played the last game before finals. On the other side, though, for Geelong, I could see Jed Buse coming in as, like, Chris Scott holds a card close to his chest and a late change kind of thing, and Jed Buse comes in. That's the only one I can see.
Yeah, anyway, to Jono's point, I don't think any like emergencies will be used because those players have barely played. Sam Day's played a bit this year, but you can't play him over Ty Gallop or Oscar at this point.
And if Lockie Neal I think the only guy I can see, Lockie Neal's the only guy they can see not making it to the start. It'd be purely like he does the warm-up and he's like, hey guys, calf's actually no good. But if that did occur, I don't think you're bringing Sam Day to cover that.
Yeah, well, I was surprised. Like, honestly, I was really thinking that we're going to name both Neil and Barry just to give them an extra couple of days. Because
Yeah, they've just given up on very quick, didn't
yeah,
they?
so I was really surprised that they just didn't even name him. So thought he
So
could have a. Hmm?
I was going to say, like, I thought if Berry was playing, does Lockie Neal get to play? I
Oh,
don't think so.
yeah. Look, if it's just annoying because you can't really go in with two injured players, like one, and it's Lockie. It's the two-time Brownlow medalist, almost Norm Smith. Yeah.
I was meaning, like, if Berry didn't get hurt last weekend, are you guys rolling the dice? Like, I think you are.
If
I think
Barry
it's
wasn't hurt,
purely if Berry didn't. So Berry got through the Collingwood
yeah,
game and never hurt his shoulder, and so you basically
yeah.
had your same 22 players from that prelim. I think you go in with the same team and you say to Lockie Neal, "Sorry, luck."
I mean,
Purely,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
I
because
feel like it's just because you won a prelim. What, are you going to drop Reveal? Probably not. I don't
mm,
think.
yeah, I'm a big Lockie Neal fan, so like I would
Oh,
be wanting
don't
him
get me
in,
wrong.
but
I think it's a great. You have to do it because we were looking at those emergencies, and you're like, I would rather take a very
a
injured Lockie Neal
70%
in.
Lockie Neal over any. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, I feel that.
If you get 70% or even 70% game time out of Lockie Neal, it's still better than what those three guys can offer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, nice. Well, anyway, that's the team sheet. So we may as well open or close this and go to the bets. So this is what we've decided for the Geelong versus Brisbane grand final. And trust me, this was a really, really hard and agonizing choice. But this is what we've landed on. And you can probably see here what we've ended up with. I've added a couple of extra columns. So we've got our last three versus opponent, and we've got the last three average, um, which is really interesting because Geelong have played Brisbane three times this year, two times in the home and away, and then one time in the prelims. So they're playing four times this year when you come to the grand final. So
Which we haven't seen. I can't remember the last time. It might have been West Coast Hawks, might have been the last time, but yeah,
mm,
we haven't seen that in a long time.
it's very rare. So to have three sets of data in the same year leading up to the game is insanely handy. So just to quickly break this down again. So we have the last three versus opponent from left to right. It goes from the like round 3 or 5 game, whenever it was, to the round 15, to the prelim. So oldest to newest. And then that data comes up again here in the 3 game average versus opponent and the plus minus versus opponent. So if we can just go to Dane Zorko, which kind of stands out here. Dane Zorko, in his last 10 games, is averaging 3.5 more posies than what we're asking. So he's averaging 25.5 in his last 10. He's averaging 3.5 more than 22. But if you look at his 3 game average versus Geelong this year, he's averaging 32 posies. That is 10 posies more than what we're asking. That is huge. So it's great to see that. And we have seen Geelong roll out with the tag multiple times. None of it has been on Zorko. He has been getting a bunch of kickouts, doing what he wants back there.
Yeah, like Geelong. So what, you guys went 50-50 in the home and away. Geelong won the recently in the finals. Geelong and Chris Scott has been happy for Zorko to do whatever he wants there. I don't think he changes that. I don't
No,
think he's
he
already.
can't.
We already know where his taggers are going. We've seen it.
Yep, he can't have had 3 games and then you can't just tag Zorko. And also, not to mention, Zorko had 10 kickouts versus Geelong in the prelim. He had 11 in round 15 and he had 4 in round 3. So he is getting a bunch of his posies from kickouts alone, which is fantastic. So yes, he's 8 out of 10. He's only averaging 3.5 more, but he is having bonkers games against Geelong this year. So that is very hard to ignore. So
Yeah.
just a player I wanted to highlight and break down the new columns that we have here. Otherwise, Max Holmes, we'll get into this discussion later, but I think, Norm Smith candidate, we'll touch on that later, but he is averaging 5 more than what he needs to against Geelong, 7.3 more in his 10-game average. Max Holmes looks elite, and I think this is his game, especially after missing out in the grand final in 22. Max Holmes is hungry, and he is going to be Geelong's most damaging player. So
that hamstring's ready to go.
Yep, he's ready to run and dash across the field. We have Zach Bailey for 18. Yes, he's 64% of the year, same as Wilmot. Well, Wilmot's 65%. They're both very similar hit rates, but their last 10-game form has been huge. They've only missed 1 each, Darcy Wilmot, coming off half back, has missed by 1 posie in his last 10. Zach Bailey has missed by 2 posies, which was the Gold Coast game. Otherwise, he is averaging 21.7 against Geelong. After the buys, he's been going crazy. I think he's missed 20 disposals once after the bye, or actually it'd be twice now with that 16. So he's had a great stint after the bye. And Darcy Wilmot, my God, I was kind of worried about him because I know he's like a 16 to 18 posie player, but look at his last 2 months.
Well, remember the start of the year, we were talking about maybe the role's gone and maybe we can't bet on him anymore. And now he's like fucking 25s.
Yeah, he's getting 20, 19, 27. Like, he's having a great 2 months and just looking hungry and composed. Like, just that shrug off tackle on Dacos, bounce, kick it. Like, he is looking very good at this time of year, which I love. And last one is Brian Myers, who, yes, probably had one of his most quiet games against Brisbane early this year with a 15 posie game, but he's also shown he's had 22 and a 19, and he's 10 out of 10. It's 16 posies. He's averaging almost 8 posies more than the bracket, so that is someone I'm definitely happy to include.
And I think like Brian Myers and Matt, we were there. That was probably they just didn't look right that game. So I'm happy to eliminate them. For them too, I'd take that, eliminate that game in Geelong. They just went nowhere near it.
Yeah.
Don't think that happens again.
No, I think so too. I think they're both good. So anyway, they're the ones that we've included, and we were agonizing. And let's just peel back the curtain so you guys can see who else we were looking at. Look at all these options.
I think it might have been the hardest game of the year to pick.
It was really hard. I did all the stats. I did the last 3 on the phone to Jono. I was like, this one is actually tough because there's a lot of people who I'll include.
We don't, and there's no easy. Speak of the great man, Toddy Goldstein. There was no Toddy Goldsteins that we could feast on. Let's have a moment for Toddy Goldstein as well, who's now being kicked. We won't have our famous cash cow next year to feast upon, but
yes. He's been delisted by Essendon, hasn't retired, so let's hope he gets picked up by somewhere else.
Hoping West Coast.
Oh, we can hope. Anyway, so that's the players we've included for this one. We'll go through, just because it's the last game of the year. If you guys see value in anyone else, like, trust me, I do. I see a lot of value in a lot of these players, and I don't. If you go for some of these, I can't say anything bad. I think they're great picks. Tyson Stengel has only missed 4 games for the year, averaging 12.3 against Brisbane, 10 out of 10. He's $1.22. Jono and I had this thought. So there's 2 good forwards in here for 10 plus. We have Tyson Stengel and Kai Lohmann. It's kind of it feels almost coin flip. Whoever plays well is going to pop off. Whoever loses could go missing in a grand final.
Stengel, last grand final, kicked 4. That's the other thing, is like, he's done it before. Kai Lohmann, kicked 4 last year?
Yeah, he looked great in the grand final. So, I was agonising over including Lohmann the Showman or Stengel. So, it's for 10 posies too.
Usually in a grand final, the losing team will always have that small forward. The losing team usually has that small forward that just doesn't touch the ball, and you're just like, you just don't see him. So it's always risky. Yeah.
Humphreys coming off his lowest posie game for the year, and he has really teed it off. So Lawson Humphreys, I've really, really liked, but otherwise his last month, 11, 12, 10, 13, 8. I think
that was purely because the
Stewart.
Yeah.
Well,
and now you got Blitz going back to cover. They should be okay.
So I actually really like Connor O'Sullivan, who's been fantastic for Geelong. He only had 2 misses for the year, but when Tom Stewart went down, he had to go more lockdown defender and had 7. So he is $1.55. He's hit in every game versus Brisbane this year. Like, he's coming off a miss. Someone else I also really like, but just the Tom Stewart going down factor just worries me a little bit.
Yep.
Jack Martin missed last week, but I'm not that bullish on. Like, yes, he could have 10 posies in 5 minutes and kick 3 goals, but he could also, just get.
He's a guy that could, on his day, he could win the Norm Smith, right? But also, I think he's a sub risk.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just too much contrast. I want to go for someone with a bit more, smaller range at the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, look at that already. Like, there's a handful of good choices there in the 10 plus posie bracket. So, moving on to the 12. I won't shut up about this. More good brackets. I love Cam Rayner. I yell out.
Pumba.
Yeah.
I'm backing Pumba in fucking light up fucking
I didn't
O'Connor.
tell you. When I was at the veranda at the Gold Coast Brisbane game, I said like, "Let's go, Pumba." He turned around, looked at me, gave me the thumbs up. And I was at the parade today, and I yelled out, "Let's go, Pumba." He turned around, looked at me. I was like, "Ah, he knows. I
Yeah,
know he
he's got you.
knows."
Yeah, he's got you on the watch list now, mate.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not allowed like 100 feet near
yeah.
him.
For all the listeners at home, I hope you saw James's airtime after the Ashcroft goal last week.
Oh,
You'll
that
see
was
it
good.
tomorrow. Don't worry, you'll see it in the fucking promo videos tomorrow. Look out for the Brisbane player doing the fucking Home Alone kid.
Oh, that
So
was insane. That wasn't a reaction for the goal itself. It was like Collingwood kicked six in a row, and then we kicked two in a minute, and I was like, no way, it's happening. Like, we're still on. We're not down and out. The goal was amazing, but like, fuck, that was awesome.
yeah, don't worry,
Um,
I'll see it tomorrow. I'm sure.
anyway, back to Pumba. Yeah, I think he's great coming off a miss, but of the obvious concern, Mark O'Connor. Really clamped on him, got 13 posies. Yes, he still hit. He got two cheap free kicks, which two free posies, but he could easily go unsighted. And Cam Reina has had probably, like, I don't have the stats behind me, but just off the top of my head, has had probably the lowest posies first halves for like the last month or two. He really shines in the second half. And I don't want to bet on someone who I'm relying on just a half a game of footy at this point in time and who will most likely be tagged.
I think he gives O'Connor a bath.
I hope so. Jono has it. Oh, again, we'll speak about this later. But yeah,
We'll save that for later.
yeah. Levi Ashcroft, I really like. He had 13 posies in that game where he got subbed off as tactical against Geelong. Otherwise, he's gone 12, 23, 13. What he come third or fourth in Rookie of the Year, Rising Star, sorry. Otherwise, he's averaging 5.6 more than the bracket. He has only missed 12 posies once this year. He's 96% hit rate. Fuck me. The only reason I'm not including him is because he, unfortunately, is in the bottom 3 or 4 candidates are being subbed off for Brisbane. And that's if Lachie Neale is, like, if Lachie Neale plays the whole game, he even goes up the chain in sub risk.
He's also in that, like, isn't it crazy? Just the Ashcroft, like, he could be in the top 4 players. He's not going to be Norm Smith, I don't think, but he could be in that top 4 players on the ground, but he also could get subbed. So it's like, yeah.
No, it's just annoying because he's such an accumulator. He gets so much of it, but it's not damaging yet. But again, a first-year player, first grand final, I think I would rather just back players with a bit more experience.
If you guys get to 3/4 time and you haven't made your sub yet, and it's neck and neck.
Yeah, because imagine if Jono and I both think Sam. No, exactly. Jono and I both think it's Sam Marshall or Bruce Reveal, right? It's one or the other. Who is a like for that? It is Levi Ashcroft if Lachie Neale is fit. So.
Yeah, and I think if you get to 3/4 time and Neale's been solid, like doesn't look like he's completely fucked.
And it's a close game. You can't.
It's a close game. You're not subbing out 2-time Brownlow medalist Lachie Neale, premiership captain for Levi Ashcroft, or is it Levi Ashcroft? Unless he's completely fucked and he puts his hand up, I can't go.
Yeah,
they're not doing it.
No, exactly. Jack Bowes. So I really like him. Look at his stats. Fuck, it was hard to say no to. He's averaging 17.5 against Brisbane, 4.6 more in his current bracket, 10 out of 10. He's only missed 2 games for the year. He's been the starting sub twice. He's only been subbed off once for injury. It's just, I don't know. I just don't want to.
It's the same. We went through it before, man. It's almost like it's a coin flip. Is it Reece or him?
Yeah. And
unless there's an injury, it's them too, I think.
Exactly. And I just don't want to be betting someone who's probably in the bottom 3 of the team. Like, no offense, but he's a likely sub candidate at this point. So
yeah.
But man, it's hard to say no to those 2 guys right there. Very hard.
Yeah.
If you don't think they'll be subbed, then yeah, by all means.
Blitz. Love Blitz.
I love Blitz abs too. And all you guys have probably all seen the hype and stuff. He did miss because Fort is the ruck killer. Oh no, sorry, he got 20 against it. I can't remember that game. It was the last game of the year.
No,
anyway.
the 20s against Fort.
No, it is. Sorry, his 9 was the last game of the year. Yeah,
that was
I can't remember who Geelong played in the last game of the year. It was anyway. But Mark Blitzabs has been amazing for them in the stoppages and around the ruck. So it's very hard to just move Blitzabs around. But again, you've probably all heard Mark Blitzabs could play a role on Andrews. It might not be. It might be Stanley. I just don't know where he's going to play, even though he's looked in great form.
They played Richmond.
Oh, okay. That's the tank got him.
Well, Stanley played that.
Oh, true. And Stanley's listed for this one too. So Who knows?
I think so.
Blitzards is the utility for this game.
I don't hate, like, even if he plays as a defender, I think he's sitting around that 9 touch mark, right, at 3/4 time. And I think there's a big chance Reece doesn't play the whole game and Blitzards, he gets his crack in the ruck and gets those. I don't know, still like it.
I like Blitzards too.
Yeah, but there is obviously, like you said, if he plays shutdown, does he? Like, we've obviously seen his track record. He got a 9-touch game when he did play shutdown. So
no, Calamachi next in the list there. Every chance to get it in the forward line. Good runner,
played
good
a
mark.
great grand final.
He did. He could have easily won that Norm. It was like Ashcroft, Neil, and Archie in my mind who were
and Kai.
And Kai, yeah. So he looked great. Stengel makes an appearance again. Lawson Humphries, same. But anyway, so just not quite there. For 14 posies, this is where
moving on to
Sean Manor. Jono really likes Sean Manor. I just couldn't quite, because we were at that game. I was at Geelong and he had a 10 posie game. Yes, Brisbane spanked them. That's not happening in the grand final again. So that 10 you could almost rule out. He got a 15, but just what couldn't quite get me over the line for him is just his last 2 games getting 15. So he got a 15 against Brisbane. He got a 15 against Hawthorn. It's like I just kind of would like a little bit more buffer at the end of the year.
I'll save my chat on him to the Norm Smith chat.
Yeah, Johnny's got some good facts on him for the Norm Smith chat at the end. So just tune back into Sean Manor. We'll touch base on him again. Ollie Dempsey on the wing. I feel like he should be paying a little. Like, he's playing actually great right now, but he had a really good game against Geelong, against Brisbane not long ago, 25. But he had an 11 and a 10 posie game, so the 25 is a bit of an outlier. I don't think he's.
And there was a lot of chat about that was a big reason we think that Levi got subbed out, because Levi just chose not to go with him in that game, and he let Ollie really exposed Levi in that game. I think there's going to be, obviously Brisbane's going to do a bit more homework on Ollie Dempsey since then.
Yep, he's not having 25 again on Grant. Surely not. I hope not. Please, God, no. Levi mentioned there again, but big sub risk. But fuck, his odds look good and his form. So keep that in mind.
Honestly, it's like, I don't think we haven't included him. If we get to the game and he's like starting and everything looks normal, be fucking pretty keen to chuck him in. But yeah, that's the reason why we've highlighted him. But you can obviously understand why we haven't included him.
And you can imagine betting on Levi. You've got to take into consideration there's about a 30% chance he's getting subbed off, and that just kind of sucks a little bit. So with that in mind, but yeah, as John was saying, if everything looks good, he's training with the mids. I like Levi. Tom Atkins, I wish he was just a little bit more for 15, but we can get him in the 16. Sean Manor presenting value again, but unfortunately not that many here in the 15 plus posie bracket. Myers, Dangerfield, all too short, and I just don't feel that bullish on Ashcroft or Rayner or Andrews or anyone like that for 15. Yep. So even moving on to the 16 and the 18 posie bracket, Brian Myers at $1.22. He's missed twice this year. He's averaging 18.7 against Brisbane, 10 out of 10. He's 8 posies over. Oh, sorry, we've already spoken about him. Fantastic. Tom Atkins, I was very close to including. Very close, because I think Mullen will be on McCluggage in the middle. Tom Atkins will probably. Yeah, and Dunkley the danger. But I think Tom Atkins, has the, light tagging role again on probably a Neil in this game.
But I feel like does that drop off a little bit?
Yeah.
Because depending on what Lockie Neal state of Lockie Neal we get, it might drop off a bit, and it's a more attacking role now.
Yeah, it could. And that 10 out of 10, averaging 5 more than what we need, another good player. It's just literally there's a bunch of players.
And he'll get 2 of you. He'll get 2 holding the balls or whatever, right? He'll just create a couple of possessions from his tackling alone. So. And
he's going to be around the footy. I think he has the most CBAs for Geelong, I'm pretty sure, from the top of my memory. Yeah, he does. He's got the same tied with Bailey Smith.
Yep.
Which is wild. Anyway, so yeah, I like Tom Atkins. Sean Manor, same deal. 18 and 20. This is where it changes. Boy. Darcy Wilmot. So again, I was scared from him from his earlier form, but it's just his last 2 months have been insane. We spoke about him at the start. Jasper Fletcher, I am so sorry. I've probably bet on him every week for I don't know how long. He's definitely made the bet slip most weeks. It's just his last 3 games in the finals, 20, 21, 18. He just hit last week against Collingwood. Darcy Wilmot on the other hand. So look at this. He's averaging 25 in his last 3. Fletcher is averaging 19.7. Darcy Wilmot is in hot form right now, averaging a lot of the footy. Darcy Wilmot has the run and carry, kick out a half back, whereas Fletcher is just beating his opponent and providing space on the weak side. So
Well, it's no longer like love Fletcher and he looks really good. It's not the uncontested game anymore. It's hard. Like Wilmot's got the bigger body to get the ball, right?
Yep.
It's less out. Outside ball becomes less important in finals.
Yep, exactly. And Wilmot looks hungry and ready to take that risk. Yeah, whereas Fletcher is maybe just going to provide a safer option. So anyway, that's the idea there and why I like Wilmot better. Zach Bailey as well. Speaking of hot form, like Wilmot, Zach Bailey in that similar hot form, who we spoke about before, but just, really want to reiterate. I think he's had 2 misses since the buys. But yeah, that's 16 against Gold Coast. I'm fine for him to have a miss there. When he's averaging 23.3 in his last 10, he's looking good. Brian Myers spoke about again. We can skim through him. We've already got him for 16. 20 to 22. Max Holmes, who we include in the bet. I really should bold these players. I forget who we've included because there's been so many good picks. Anyway, and the last one there is Dane Zorko. But let's head back. Josh Dunkley in his last 2 games, 20 and 19. Yes, he had a 30 against Brisbane. Yes, look at his games against Geelong this year. 26, a 30, and a 30. He is averaging 8.7 more than his bracket against Geelong. He has big games against Geelong. But, Jono, you reckon he'll have a solid tagging role?
Sorry, Dunks. Yeah, I think it's been a lot. Like, I feel like 2023, he had to go to Degoe, right? And he still got 21 touches in that game on Degoe, but it was a body-on-body at every contest kind of thing. And they've already said a lot of chatter this week that Dunkley is going to be... He's already talking about how he's got plans for Dangerfield, right? Dangerfield has increased his CBA minutes, so that means I think Dunkley is going to have to... When he's in there, Dunkley will be putting an arm around him. We went through his... before this, though, we went through his touches in grand final. Sorry, I can't remember if we already spoke about this before, but... Sure. What did he have? 21, and 25 in his last... He's played in 4 grand finals, one when he was a little kid, but his last 3 in the last 5 years, he's got 21, 21, and 25.
Yeah, so
I still like it.
Yeah. I really like it too. So again, Josh Dunkley was someone very close to consider. I think it's just recently, Paddy Dangerfield has spiked in his CBAs. He has gone 47% against Brisbane 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And then he went 44 against Hawthorn. And you guys all saw he had like one of the best games he's had ever. That was insane. He's going to be playing a lot in the midfield. And he is a big, strong, quick, explosive body. And I think Dunkley he's the only chance we have of really stopping him. So Dunkley might have to play more defensive mindset.
And I think Dunkley teeters on the 20s, right? He's kind of been a safe bet for your 20 all year, but it's not like he's catching out 25s, right?
So but he funny you say that because he has had big games against Geelong, but he's also done well without Neil. Neil's back, so
yeah. And I think the 20, like if he's teetering on 20s, and then now we're going to track in the fact that it's a bit more defensive. I just feel like he might only lose might lose 2 touches, but that 2 touches might cost him the bracket.
Yeah. Wilmot and Bailey have spoken about. I think they're great for 18, but there's also a bit of value there for 20. 22. The Great Dane, Zorko, absolutely love. And we spoke about he's averaging 10 more than his current bracket when he versus Geelong. He has a field day with kickouts. And we've seen it the last 3 games, haven't tagged him, no attention. Holmes also value there for 22. Josh Dunkley, I know he's missed his last 2. There's every chance just because of the fact he's had big games against Geelong, but that tagging factor just worries me a little bit. Last real bracket, the 25 plus posse bracket. Bailey Smith, he's gone 25, 28, 22 against Brisbane. He's averaging 25. He's only missed twice this year, right? So one of those was against Brisbane. But it's the grand final, so I don't know how much he can run around free and get 25 plus. It's hard to ask for. And it's a similar thing with
what is Ashcroft. It like? I think it's like only 2 guys have got more than 32 touches in a grand final.
Yeah, okay. I
think it's like Petrarca got 40 in a grand final, 39, and I think Simon Black got 33, I reckon, in a grand final. But usually 30 touches I'm wrong on that, but I think it's Black and Petrarca are the top 2, but 30 touches is very unheard of in grand finals.
Yeah, and again, that's why I'm not really going to bet on Will, yes, he's averaging 5.3 more in his bracket, which is huge. He's averaging 30 posies against Geelong because he doesn't get checked. He's coming off a miss. It all lines up, but I just can't go 25.
That stinks. That stinks of a fucking everyone piling on a Will Ashcroft for bet-wise, right? His bracket is
Norm last year.
Wow. Yeah, that's out of what I feel like they're they're pumping him up a bit too much there in the betting.
I feel like this is a reasonable price for him usually, but when you're looking at Bailey Smith, he's a similar price. Will Ashcroft should be a bit more because
I would like Will in the 22, but look at that, $1.12.
I know $1.12. Yeah, if he was like $1.18 or I love him in the 22. But yeah, not to be 30 posies. I'm not that keen about, and you can see I was going to start the similar stats for the goal. I was going to go through and note how they went. I was like, I don't give a fuck about goal scorers. I'm not interested in betting on a goal scorer, but you can see there's a couple here. Pumba, Shannon Neal could, but I don't know. Cam Rayner, Kai Lohmann, Zach Bailey, every chance getting goals, but to be honest, I'm kind of tapped out of the goal scorer market just for now anyway. Keen on the posi bracket.
Yep.
So the options there if you want. Jeremy Cameron has gone 1, 4, and 2. Anyway, the options there. There's no one that I'm really that keen on or bullish.
If I was going to include a goal scorer there, I think I would go Jeremy Cameron for 2.
Yeah, $1.28, 8 out of 10. I hope Ryan Lester has a good game because last time Jeremy Cameron started on fire against Brisbane. So, but a switch could happen where Gardner goes on him or Andrews, and it could really lock up Jeremy Cameron. So, or it could be the other end, and he kicks 100, and I get to storm the field.
Yeah, in a loss, great. I think I'd expect all matchups to start the same. I think Leicester's going to start the game on Jeremy. O'Shea's going to start on McCluggage. O'Connor's going to start on Rayner. I feel like everyone's just going to let's feel this one out first before we make any big calls. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy to start the game. I don't expect to see Blitzard starting on forward on Harris Andrews or anything like that.
No, so that's the goal scorer market. That's our bets in total. So I'm just going to quickly scroll back to the top and just remind you guys there was so many options here. It was real hard to narrow it down, but if you had to, these were the ones I was left with. So let me just quickly pause and get something set up. Oh yeah.
What's just one down? Just in the 10s. What's Harris Andrews actually in the 10s?
Oh, he wasn't paying much. I did have a look. Yeah. He's $1.01. He was in great form.
Yeah, he's just too good at the moment.
Yeah, he's too good at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair.
One sec. We will be back in a moment. Alrighty, we're back and we're going through the Norm Smith medal. Yeah, because I was like, it's the last game of the year. Why not? Let's just have a little look ourselves. First off the bat, Bailey Smith, $7.50. I'm not that bullish. Jono's got some good stats. I'm going to pass to him in a second, but I think Bailey Smith, regardless, has had his lower posi games against Brisbane this year. So he had a 22. He's just scraping 25. I feel like he's going to need a monster posi game or to hit the scoreboard. So that's my thought for Bailey Smith. What do you think, Jono?
Yeah, okay. So let's go. So let's just go the last 8 seasons. So let's say since 2016, every Norm Smith medalist who's won the medal has scored a goal. Now, of those 8 winners, 6 of them have kicked at least 2 goals. Some of them more than that. 6 of those 8 have been midfielders as well. But let's just take the goals for that factor. So the last 8 times, it's always been a goal, and most of the time it's been more than 1 goal. Bailey Smith this year has only kicked 8 goals this season. He's never kicked more than 1 goal in a game. So I feel like that's just and now just adding to him before, the way Bailey Smith does this sort of thing, I don't think he's going to do it kicking goals. He's going to win it by getting 30 touches, right? Because his touches aren't cut you to pieces. He's an accumulator. He's not a high impact touch possession. It's get the ball as much as you can, hack it forward. He's unlikely to get 30. Grand finals, it's hard to get 30 touches. It does not happen very often. It's happened once in the last 30. It's happened 2 or 3 times in the last 30 years. It's very unlikely that 30 touches happens in this grand final.
Yep. And Bailey Smith, let me just reiterate. So he's played 22 games this year. His bottom 3 games disposals have been against Brisbane. So Brisbane, he had a 22. St Kilda, he had 23. Brisbane, 25. There is a 28 posi game, but they're not the 30s. They're not the 30 plus against Brisbane. That is not happening. If look, if he gets 30 plus, 35 plus, yeah, I think he's every chance of a Norm Smith. But I think if he's having an average, or I think it's quiet by Bailey standards to have 25 or less. But so you got to really think if he's going to be damaging, and I think the damaging of those two is Max Holmes. So if I was
Yeah.
to, Max Holmes, he is running off halfback. He's cutting the game open with his speed. He's not getting like the little handball receives. He'll be winning it from stoppages and then going for a run. And then he is bombing it inside 50 or even running and having a shot at goal. I think Max Holmes is the one Brisbane have to be most worried about. He missed the grand final in 22 and he is just, I think he's going to go bang.
Yeah, Max Holmes has scored. He scores in 13 goals this year. He scores in more than 50% of the games he plays. Same with McCluggage, to that matter. I could like almost pair them two together. I think like if either of their teams win, I could see either of them kind of doing it right. They're a goal kicking midfielder is kind of what I'm going for. Is what I like to see in my picks, I guess.
Yeah, no, you couldn't agree more. If I was going to have. I've done one bet for the moment, but I'm thinking of making it two.
These are my picks, and like James is going for.
And the other one, Max Holmes, I'm really bullish on from the Geelong side. So, and it is a great point Jono has just mentioned because when you're remember, this is not the umpires voting for this. This is not the Brownlow. This is people up in the booth looking over the game, being able to see the stats. Who's impacted the most? It's going to be a goal or two and like 20, 25 posies. It's going to be a damaging goal scoring mid.
Yeah, and its impact means more. This is not like Brownlow voting. This is impact is what they really care for. Like people get overthrown now. A goal in the first quarter doesn't mean as much as the Will Ashcroft goal and the third goal to seal the game. That it means more when things like that happen. These people get influenced by that. Yeah, that's why. For instance, if my pick's right, before we go to your pick, my pick, if Geelong win, I think I really like Max Holmes. It is a bit of a safe pick, being him second best. I think he's the safe pick there. If Brisbane win, I really like Rayner or even Ashcroft to go back to back.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll go like Ashcroft is every bit of a small, not the high 20 touches, but is a high impact with his touches. And Cam Rayner, I could see him just like 20 touch or a high teens game, but he kicks 3 kind of thing. Now, the one I do want to get to before we go to your pick is my Smokey, who I spoke about before. Really just an outside, probably won't happen, but Sean Manor is, I don't even know if he's on the fucking list, but there he is, $26. Sean Manor he loves grand finals. He played at Laverton in the Albury League, and before he joined the AFL, or before he joined the VFL, sorry, he kicked 5 from the midfield in a winning grand final, got the best on grand medal. A year later, played for Werribee in the VFL grand final, in a losing grand final against Gold Coast. He kicked 6 in a losing grand final from the midfield, gets picked up by the Cats the next year. Now he's playing in an AFL grand final. I feel like he's again in that Cam Rayner mold. I could see him getting a high teams game and just kicking a bag.
That is some very good research and thought put into that. And it's, I literally can't argue with that. I mean, that fits the mold of what you're looking for, a midfielder who can kick.
I'll let you announce your pick because there is definite, you've obviously got, and I agree with your research to that one though. We'll go to your pick, I guess.
Yeah, no, mine, you've seen it off the Excel before. Someone who I've actually already chucked a bet on already. I have gone the Great Dane Zorko. Purely, who has had the best games against Geelong this year? It's been Dane Zorko. He is getting a feast and hasn't been tagged at all. I think, as Jono said, so he's looking for a goal scoring mid. Dane Zorko has kicked a goal in one of those Geelong games. He kicked a goal in the prelim last week. I'm not relying on his goal scoring. I'm just saying that option is there where he's going to run up, pull the trigger and look to attack. But he is averaging his best posse games against Geelong this year. Yes, they've played him 3 times. He's got more data to go off, but he is having big games, and we've seen it now in multiple. They're tagging McCluggage. They're going in the middle. They're tagging Rayner. Dane Zorko, if they haven't tagged him by now, they're not going to. And I just think I know he was an All-Australian, coming off an All-Australian the year before. he's like what 35. He's just at the tail end of his career. I'm just hoping Dane Zorko goes bang and gets the Norm Smith. So I think he's going to be most damaging from the back line. And just forgive me, this stat I think is a little hazy. I don't know if you remember, Jono, Dane, what's his name? Daniel Hoyne. Brisbane are the most damaging transition footy from their back line. So Geelong, we mentioned before, have really good extra time where they are really strong in the last bit of the quarter. Brisbane transition the ball like the best from the back to scoring opportunities. I think it was Daniel Hoyne's stat was if they score 40 points or more off transition footy from defence to attack, that's what beats Geelong. And Brisbane are a strong candidate to do that. So I'm thinking it's all Dane, the mastermind, the magician from the back line.
Got a point to add to your Dane Zorko. Round 3, Geelong played Brisbane. 3 votes went to Dane Zorko.
Boom.
Round 15, Geelong played Brisbane in Geelong. 3 votes went to Dane Zorko.
Boom.
And I think in the prelim, I can't remember what he got, but he got
3 votes.
20. Oh, he got, what did he get touch-wise? High 30? In the 30s?
30, yeah. I had it in the Excel. In the prelim, Dane Zorko had 35.
Yeah, now he's not. I don't think he'll do that again, but I think he can definitely. If you take,
that was a qualifying final. He had 35.
Qualifying, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I don't think he'll do that again. Last week he started the game poorly and worked his way into it. I don't think he's going to start this grand final that poorly again.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. And like you just said, he's had 6 Brownlow votes out of 2 games against Geelong this year. So that is freaking huge.
And then probably your best player in the losing qualifying.
Yeah. You're right. Oh, Harris Andrews played really good too, but yeah, he was definitely up there still in the losing. I just noticed I've actually got him for $19, but he's down to $17 at the moment on Ladbrokes. So, bit of market mover for Dane Zorko at the moment. So, and
it would be good to see. We've had 2 backmen win it since 2012 we've had Jason Johannesson. It was 2016 was the last time we had a backman win the Norm Smith, and then prior to that was Brian Lake.
Oh, true, the big fourth quarter.
Yeah, so it would be good to see. So in my stats that I read out before, guys, So in the past 8 years, only once has it not gone to a midfielder. So it would be nice to see someone else win it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, as Jono said, it's very midfield dominant. If a midfielder's getting the ball, kicking goals. I'm just very bullish on Brisbane's transition defense. And plus, look, there's also a bit of bias. I want to see a Brisbane Lions player winner. I want to see Dane Zorko do well. And I just think if Brisbane are scoring well, it's coming from their back line. It's not coming from the stoppages. It's coming from the back line.
Are you same as me? If Geelong win, you think it's Holmes?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. That was the other post. So I bet on Zorko at the moment. If I was to do another bet, which I most likely will, I think I'm going to put 50 or 60 on Holmes. The reason I did 60 on Zorko was because it just got me over 1,000 profit. So Holmes is my second pick easily at this point.
I think I'll do Cam Rayner. Cam Rayner, I think if Brisbane win, and then it'll be Max Holmes. I might even do the Max Holmes just because I think he'll really.
What was Cam Rayner paying? I haven't double checked that for you. Sorry, Cam Rayner. Pumba. Oh, there we go. He is $23.
So I think, I can really see it being
even with the tag.
I reckon he's going to give him a bath.
Wow.
You were at that game, man. Remember you said just kick it to Rayner. It's his.
Oh, I was real annoyed that they weren't So Cam Rayner was on. He was telling the crowd to shush. He had it he was doing don't argues in the pocket and trying to snap goal. Just kick it to him. They're trying to kick it to Charlie.
The problem wasn't yes, they had to push him forward, but once the ball got to him, he was kicking goals.
Yeah.
And I get the whole flopping and all that stuff. I feel like he feeds off that shit. I think
he flopped the week after. He broke the most tackles in a finals game. He's a bull.
He's the most up and down player you could ever have. The final series, the flopping to kicking 3 to the next week to break the most tackles to last week not touching it to kicking 3 in the second half. You just don't know. But I feel like Hilbert, I reckon I really like him. Then I will actually think I will put one on Sean Manor just as a flyer. Probably won't happen, but I really like guys that play well in grand finals. I think it is you can get a reputation of having that track record. Obviously Dustin Martin's the king of that track record, but yeah, I think Sean Manor might be type. Like, I would love to see that. It'd be a really cool story kind of
Mm.
thing.
I've actually got one more for your Rayner thing. Rayner, again, this is just off the dome. I don't have the hard stats in front of me. Has had the most quiet first halves in like the last month or so. You know what wins you a Norm Smith? A big second
Big
half.
second half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's what Cam Rayner has been doing. He's just finishing strong. It's the last thing in the voters' mind is what's going on at the very end of the game. So,
Yeah. And I'm guessing here, but I'm expecting he'll be public enemy number one, but for the Cats fans
oh
tomorrow, I feel
yeah,
like I assume that they haven't forgotten. They'll probably do the boos and all that stuff, right? So I'm expecting that to all come out by the Cats fans tomorrow. So I feel like he loves that stuff.
yeah, he does thrive off it. So yeah, no, that's our Norm Smith picks. I really like Jono's research. I'm going with Zorko. So again, let us know who you guys really feel and think. Yeah,
Well,
just send it in the
it's
comments. I'd
pretty
love to
hard to
see.
not. It's pretty hard not to go with Zorko. Like, it's clearly Geelong are gonna let him do what he wants.
And he's been
So,
best on ground in all the home and away seasons. Even in that loss, he still like stood out. So
35 and a loss, and then
yeah,
2 back-to-back Brownlow votes. And look, we were at that second one in Geelong. Every time he got it, it was go, go,
yeah,
go, go. He wanted to explode, and it looked fucking good. So
yeah,
yeah, and and like I said, it's plays that stand out when Zorko cuts through the guts with a kick.
yep,
Stands out.
yep. No, I couldn't agree more. And because when you
To,
like
to,
Brisbane are going to be
well,
stopped. Oh, you go.
I was going to contrast that. Bailey Smith is 30. Yes, he gets 30, maybe. I don't like Bailey Smith is a lot of like hack kick forward handball, and they're not the. I don't think they don't cut you to pieces. They're not the ones you
Mm.
remember. I remember Zorko spearing a pass into the midfield though.
Oh, and you remember the one, I think it was the Gold Coast game where he kicks it inside and it like just goes over the top of it. The defender, it's like
Yeah,
millimeter perfect and it goes into the middle, creates a scoring opportunity. It's insane.
yeah, exactly right. Like
Mm.
that's the thing, and then that's why I think Max Holmes again to that. That's why obviously Max Holmes. If Geelong win and all that, and if I think he'd be the target, is because he does those big, like he gets it and he's going to break the lines. He's going to send the ball. He's not like an elite kick like Zork, but he's still going to fucking cut you to pieces with his run and
That's
gun.
probably
So
why I've gone Zork. I've gone Holmes number 2 because yeah, he's kind of like a similar role. He's usually playing in the midfield, but I know he's been coming off half back recently. And yeah, he is damaging. He's maybe not as damaging with his kick. He's damaging with his run, and that's just I think what I'm liking at the moment.
running bounces stand out too.
Yeah,
The other one I like about him as well is that he'll definitely get a shot at goal.
yeah.
Definitely think
Like
he'll get a
yeah,
shot. The other one, Bailey Smith gets a lot of his touches just running up to the back pocket, getting a little like the back pocket will have it and he'll get it on. It's touches that you don't really remember.
Hmm.
It's I feel like they're not as high impact. There's no get me wrong, Bailey Smith is an incredible player. He's had a great year. I just think when it comes to Norm Smith, we want guys that stuff you remember that happens is the stuff that wins you the Norm Smith.
Yep, you're going to remember Max Holmes running from the center, kicking it from 55 out, sailing through. You're going to
Ripping his
hopefully
hamstring, doing the thumbs up.
No, he'll be fine. And then Dane Zorko, like I said, he's kicked 1 against Geelong. He's had a scoring shot in another where he kicked it behind. So 2 out of the 3 games he's having scoring shots. Kicked 1 last week in the prelim. 3 Brownlow votes twice. 6 Brownlow votes altogether against Geelong. Yeah. I'm just so keen for this game in general. We've done our research. I've been doing the stats like for all night. I'm keen to just to fucking sleep and be at the MCG nice and early tomorrow.
Yeah, so James, for those there, James is going to be there. He's going to be level 4, isn't it, James?
Yeah, last year I got level 1. This year I was actually worried I was going to miss out because I'm priority 1 and a transaction hadn't gone out of my account until like 7:30 at night. I'm like, I missed out. What the fuck? But no, I think just got pushed all the way out the back this year. So swings and roundabouts.
But you're close. Like I think that's the best. I prefer to be up top because you can see the whole ground. So
yeah. No, I'm right behind the scoreboard. I can't on like the west end. I can't remember what stand that is, but it's the.
No, I think it'll be very good. It's been a good, and also it's been a good year punting. Hopefully, we get one more on the board here. It'd be nice to finish off with.
Oh yeah, no, it's been a great year of punting. As we finish, like, if you just like look at our total for the year, this has been huge. Almost $5,000. If this bet wins, we'll be just under $5,000. I really wanted to try and just do something a bit bigger for grand final, but I also just want to win. I just want to win on grand final day. I don't want to just go out too big. So.
And I think like we're just going to get better. Like it'd be nice to just send off, but I think we'll be back next year. We'll be bigger and better next year, I think. And yeah, we'll be.
Yeah,
It's been a good year. Hopefully, we get another back. Norm Smith into fucking our multi would be a nice way to
that'd be
send it off.
huge. That'd be great. I mean, if it doesn't, I hope it's still a great game. I just hope Brisbane don't get pumped. I hope no team gets. I hope it's a great game. But yeah, just want to say again, thank you heaps, Jono, for all the help you've done this year. The chatting, you've been a huge, great addition, and thank you to everyone liking, commenting on the videos. It really, really goes a long way. When you guys when I upload it and I see like a like or two or three in like the first 10, 20 seconds, I'm like, thank you guys so much. Like you guys have no idea how much that means. So, and the
Yeah.
comments, yeah, goes a long way.
And big thank you to Todd Goldstein. Great year.
Yeah, the cash cow.
You will be missed. It's the saddest retirement I've seen all year, I think. So,
Yeah.
it hasn't even retirement. Hopefully, he gets picked up.
No, he wants to keep playing. Essendon let him
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Fools.
But no, anyway, sorry again for the little crude setup. I'm traveling. I'm at my sister's at the moment, and thank you so much for jumping on the call, Jono. But next year we will see you guys on Footy Flutters for round 1, 2026.
Round zero.
Round
Opening
zero. Oh god, I hope. Yep, round 0, 2026. Oh, anyway, too easy. We'll see you guys next year. Hopefully, Lions get a win.
Oh, sorry. Just before we do go, James, quick lock of your bet.
Oh, that one. I think
Yeah,
I'm
Zorks
just.
for me.
Yeah, I'm going Zorks. I'm all in on Zorks. He's averaging like 35 against Brisbane, against Geelong. I think he's Norm Smith. I'm very much on the Zork train.
Yeah,
This grand
Zorks
final.
for me. Zorks for me.
Yeah.
No.
Nah, easy. All right, we'll see you guys next year. And until then, peace.